Many thanks for staying tuned with us on IBRAN Television Business Breakfast. It's now time to take a quick look at some of the top business stories. Let's dissect them and give you more insight as to what are the rationales behind of the stories. I did make mention earlier, Sumbo Bandajoko, Public Affairs Analyst, joins me now live from Oyo State, Ibadan. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for taking out your time to be with me on the show this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, then, let's dive down straight to the stories here. There's so much of them, and let's see if time will permit us to do justice to all the stories one after the other. I'll start off now with this story now coming from the presidency. There is an insider source saying that the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while he's approaching his first year in office by May the 29th, is set to launch a platform where Nigerians can have access to assess the performance of the ministers under his leadership, ministries, agencies and departments, and the leaders as well. First and foremost, I'd like to get your reaction. What do you think about this initiative? Do you think it's a laudable one? And do you think that for any reason whatsoever, the presidency will follow through with the subjection or better to the ratings made by Nigerians if this particular initiative go out by next week based on the information that we have here?
It would be a good initiative if that is done. It's a way of carrying the people along and getting them involved in governmental decisions. So that's where it's going to be a welcome development. As I said, whether or not the government would base their decision on what the people's remark could be is another thing entirely. But if we look at all the ministers that we have, a good number of them are just in occupying the position. They did not beat the ground running like we expect. And even the one that we thought was even the most mobile among them, as they suspended due to Christ, the scandal that she had to pay. But others don't know what they are doing. And the thing that personally what I have as an observation is that most of these guys, even though some of them are working, they are not talking enough. For instance, the press is not being carried along. Only a few of them have actually addressed the press to really give out, roll out an outline of what they have in plan, or what they've been doing, or what they plan to do, or what they are doing at the moment. The only thing that we've been hearing is just official statement coming from probably the media aid or from other people who are giving just statements. And some, even the Ministry of Information or the presidential aid of media that is speaking for them. Only a few of them have actually come out to really carry the people along. And because we are in a very challenging time, Nigerians really want to feel the impact of governance. They want to enjoy the benefits of democracy. Apart from the CBN as well as the Ministry of Finance, of course, which we know because of the dollarization of our economy and of course the high rate in social services, we seem to be hearing more from them. At some point, the Minister of Interior was so vocal, and recently seems to have gone quiet. So that quiet is a bit suspicious to people, and they don't know what really is going on. We enjoy him when he was very vocal, when he was everywhere. You know, today immigration, tomorrow prison, correctional services. You understand that the next tomorrow now we're going to have. Well, if we still want to rate them, we'll still give him number one because we've actually seen results from coming up from this end. The work minister, for instance, started what the street boys we call Alicia Gregor. You understand? He used some statements which a lot of people say, well, these guys tend to mean business. And it's one of the people that we start to be square peg in square hole, as in the right peg for the right hole. An engineer, a civil engineer, the former governor being put in charge of work. So it's everything perfect for him. came in the first 2 months, he was moving around the country, monitoring projects and all of that. Now the budget presentation has been done. Budget has been approved and signed by the government. We are now in the 3rd month is almost ending. We are yet to see flag up of new projects. Yet to see situation reports of recent Lagos Ibadan, which is a road that has become so controversial when the project is on for 23 years and it's still not completed. It's very controversial, and that is his own jurisdiction. He hasn't been to Ibadan, for instance. I've not seen him around here to come and speak or and what the situation of things are, the level of completion of that road. So, Nigerians have a lot to give us feedback if the platform comes. Or let the platform just have a very huge database so that it can accommodate all the variety of information that Nigerians will give. As the feedback, which the government and whosoever will be reviewing it will have a lot of jobs at his or her hands, because Nigerians have a lot to say and they will say a lot.
All right. Now, let me. Now, if you have to do a rating of some of these ministers, we have 47 of them, and from the report we got, I think some weeks ago, only about 15 of them, or even lesser than that number, are known to be performing. We have ministers of FCT, Nyesom Wike. We have minister of finance and the coordinating minister of the economy, and Wale Edun. We have the minister of interior, which you rightly made mention of. Of course, we've seen that he has soft pedal after the loud noise he made when he was newly appointed into that office. We also have Minister of Aviation. We have Minister of ICT, digital economy as well, Bosu Tijani, and the list goes on. But if I'm to put you on the spot right now, if you have to do your own assessment, what is your assessment about other ministers or the ministers as a whole? And which ministers do you think the president should be kicking out of his cabinet committee?
Well, that would be the president's prerogative, and I would not want to be the one to do that. But based on my own observation, yes, I've highlighted a good number of them that I say, well, we've had this thing we've seen them, we've had from them, and that we can point out to one or two things that they've done, and the ones that were initially active and also have been mellowing down from a while. I will also mention them. There are some ministers that have not had much from, for instance, agriculture and creative economy. We've not really been having much, we will not hear much, had much from that ministry, trade and investment. Apart from the budget, whatever, we've not really had much from that ministry. Foreign affairs, apart from the president going out by himself, we've not really had much from that ministry. Agriculture, we expect a lot to come out from agriculture. They are performing below expectation, even though they are doing some things. It was recent that Solid Mineral is trying to put some measures in place. Police affairs, I don't know, probably because of the health challenge, it's not really been that active as expected. The two ministers of defense, I wouldn't know, if I have my way, at least one of them should go so that the other one can sit tight. So I don't know why we have two ministers for defense addressing their job, and both of them are ex-governors. So that's inferiority and superiority complex to be there, and who give the instruction to who is also going to be there. I think we should have just one minister in charge of defense, and so that we'll know who to hold accountable and who is responsible for the security lapses that we'll be having. So, a good number of them. Aviation too, yes, he's been doing something, being a very loud person and vocal person. I wasn't expecting him in terms of if you're going to have redeployment, I would prefer a situation where he himself will be moved to power, because we need someone like him. He will be more vocal in power. He has the guts, and of course his legal background will help a lot to unravel some of the mysteries in that sector. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Well, there are some ministries that we may not really hear from them. We only know that they are performing like the health ministry. It is the results that will show whether they are working. carrying the press along. And when you don't speak to the media, people don't know what you're doing as a minister. And if you don't know what you're doing, of course, they can't conclude that you are not doing anything. So that is the case, and that's the situation here. And if they are not fortunate enough to retain their job, it's going to be then, as far as the ministry is concerned, I do not want to hear anything of humanitarian affairs again. That ministry should be scrapped. It's useless, unnecessary, and it has become a draining pipe to our cash resources. So that ministry should be. And if the minister is still useful or has been given a clean sheet, let her be given something else to do. She will do well, being with her background in the health, she's a public health specialist. She will do well in somewhere around Ministry of Environment, if she can be put there. But for now, that is the much I can say.
I was expecting to get your feedback about the Minister of Power and the current state of power in the country, looking at January up to this moment.
The last time I was here, we talked about power and I've given my comments. Maybe you want me to repeat myself. He's performing below expectation. And here in Oyo State, if he shows up in town, people would shout on him because power is so epileptic in Oyo. And if I don't where I stay, even areas that used to enjoy reasonable hours of power before he came up, and now things have gotten worse. And the question we are asking is this a man that wants to govern this state? Is this how things will not be working when he becomes the governor? So all those things are there. So for him, he should be moved to somewhere around some budget and planning. That is his area of specialization. He should not be moved from power. If he's still useful to the president, he will do well in budget and planning.
All right. Let's leave it at that. Let's shift focus now to the next story now. The Central Bank of Nigeria Deputy Governor and Economic Policy Directorate has come out to make a projection that Nigeria's inflation rate for the month of March will skyrocket to about 32.63%. If that be the case, what do you think will be the ripple effect on the poor masses and businesses as a whole? Because as it is right now, a lot of people are complaining. I was having a conversation with a Muslim friend yesterday and he was complaining to me how it is even becoming difficult to get fruit to break his fast. Things are not getting any better, but then inflation is still skyrocketing. What's your reaction to all of this?
Well, the deputy governor will be in the best position to tell us what are the indices that they have used to make that projection. As far as I know, the main reason why we are having inflation is because of the devaluation of the naira, which has been appreciating in the same time. So if the naira is appreciating, gaining strength, that should rub on the price in the area positively. But the CBN deputy governor is telling us that we'll pay more. He may be looking at maybe the aggregate demand, which is still up because of the fasting now. People buy a lot of food items, but that should just be for food inflation. There are other things that are not kicking as we speak. You understand? Construction is not really going on, even though cement, other types of cement is going down. But the thing is, we to look at that. And when that is, don't forget, the FPC meeting of last month had increased the interest rate, trying to discourage people from having access to money. And if that is to bring down the aggregate demand, which they believe would reduce the inflation. So if the policy is put in place to bring down the inflation and you are coming that policy will be increased the level of inflation, I don't understand. It will be the best position to tell us why he has come out with that.
Yeah, it did make mention of the fact that the issues concerning insecurity, issues concerning escalated energy costs, issue concerning fluctuation in the foreign exchange market will lead to a spike in inflation rate. But my concern here is that this is a CBN director coming out to tell us that, or making projection that inflation rate will go up by 32% in the coming in this month. And I really want to know if, with all of this being put in place now, why then should the Central Bank of Nigeria, MFC, still continue on its interest rate hike? if they believe that we'll still continue to see inflation on the higher side, why are they not thinking of coming up with other measures to curtail this stubborn inflation aside from rate hikes?
Well, the statement may be in the truth, but the thing is, all what is said are the same reason, the very reason why the decision of the NPC's last meeting came out with those items jacking up the interest rate. And I want to believe they would maintain what they agreed on because it would be too early for any form of adjustment. Those are things that still need more time to be tested. If he is coming out to say this, insecurity, fine, it's not a new thing. It's been with us for a very long time. The price of dollar is coming down, like I said earlier. Power, yes. Power is not it's an epileptic icon of energy. As in there. But these are not new things. What would bring this on further will be new development, which would add it to what we already have for. All these things you have mentioned are things that are improving realistically, apart from insecurity. And insecurity that we talked about is not really a challenge to all sectors apart from agriculture. You understand?
Yeah.
But when you now begin to generalize that, where the CBN deputy governor is supposed to really speak from a broader perspective and be more conservative in the way he is. Maybe because he's new on the job anyway. He's just to learn the hand. So, but the thing is, I do not agree with his opinion. That is the bottom line.
All right then. I really do not want to take the story that has to do with the MPC meeting because you just gave your own insights to it that going by the current inflationary pressure, the current inflationary rate, the MPC might likely have to retain its MPR and its other hawkish stand it made last month at its first MPC meeting under the leadership of Yemi Kadoso. Now let's shift focus now to this particular story. And this has to do with the big news that is trending in town now. That is the Central Bank of Nigeria clearing all backlogs, inherited backlogs, about 77 billion US dollars. Now, but all seem not to be well because Aheta has come out to say that the leadership of the CBN should give a proof of how the funds were being, let me get the word right now, being disbursed, because according to them, they've not seen anything. And though this move has brought about some kind of stability, sort of seeing the naira appreciate at the foreign exchange market, how do you react to this? And should there be a source or a need for us to be worried since Aheta is now coming out to deny the claim made by the CBN?
I don't see any denial coming from them because it's just a proof of the fact that they've been working day and night to address our forex crisis. And that legacy backlog is one of the reasons why we've been having problems at the supply end of the forex, and of course promoting speculation, which is making the naira to fall against the dollar. But they've made some measures which has actually helped and in boosting the supply. They skipped something in one of the in the full statement. Our foreign reserve has now increased.
Yeah,
so
very true.
Around $38 billion, which is the real figure. Initially, when it was set to be 34, JP Morgan came out to say, "Come, this thing is only 4 billion because by the time we deduct all your backlog and your foreign commitment and all of that, what you will have left is this amount." And now, all that has been sorted out, and there's been an increase from that 34 to around 38 billion now. So, which means, if you are going to borrow for infrastructural purpose, we have a solid ground to do that. And for it to have increased to that level, we increase. Even before the end of this year, we may be having around 80-something billion, or if not 100 as foreign reserve. At its peak, it was around $147 billion. It should be around 2070 before it began to nosedive and got to the worst level under the last administration. But the thing is, we need a very robust. Even if you have it at 200 billion, it is still small compared to our population. For instance, the foreign reserve of Saudi Arabia is over $1 trillion, and they have a population of just 25 million people. Now we are having just 38 billion for a population of 220 million. You can see that we still have a long
way to go,
and that is where we should give kudos to them, because it has been messed up. And the fact that that is increasing is showing significant improvement on the supply side. And that is why the CBN could come out 2 days ago to say they are lifting restrictions on the importation of dairy products, that they can now have access for it. You understand? If they do not have, that's the point, that's the confirmation to the fact that they've cleared the backlog. Because if the supply is not improving, they will still be putting restriction on some of the items that we need in an essential matter, because they have to give restriction on that to curb some certain things, because these products are being used for some other purposes within our manufacturing sector. So it's a thing that is a welcome development, but they should just be more open. You know, this is how we got it. This is what we have done. This is what we realized, and this is the amount we use to show up the backlog among them. This is what we are. The balance is what we put here. So that detail would encourage the people to believe whatever is coming out from that end. It is always this secrecy. We don't know what you're doing. You just come out one day and then you give a statement and you expect people to believe. People always have an observation.
Yes,
they have every reason to doubt you, and that is what is going on. And that's why some people are saying no, you will not believe it. Because when they said they have cleared the $10 billion backlog, they almost immediately the aviation sector came up to say, well, we still have about 700 million outstanding. You understand? And the initial impression was that there's nothing left. So those are the kind of things, and that's what those people are saying they do not believe would have also be holding on to. So it's better they be more open, a little bit of openness will save them this kind of decision that they have to face every point in time.
All right, that's the much time we permit us to take on this first segment of the program. I'd like to say a big thank you to you, Sumbo Badejiko, public affairs analyst, who joins me live from Oyo State, Ibadan. Thank you so much for your time with me on the show, sir. Have for yourself a wonderful weekend ahead of you. All right, then let's focus now to the capital market and let's see what's playing out at the exchange and give you some insights as to trading activities at the NGX yesterday. Yes, what's to come? The Nigerian stock market yesterday altered a 3-day investors' profits-taking momentum as gains in Boa Cement PLC and 21 others lifted the major index by 0.13%. More details after this time out. Please stay with us.